my gardening angels, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Jess, and today is finally the day that I've been waiting a few weeks to do because I had a problem last week where I needed to actually water my plants. Shocking. And now we can finally harvest all of the little babies that have formed from when I did my massive propagation about 2 months ago. I would say it's been probably about 2.5 months now. So in front of me here I have the ones I need to propagate from and start cutting, and then these are ones that I wanted to show you that have formed babies, but that I probably won't do much with today. But I'm really excited because if you do this rotation of cutting off the tops of your succulents and then letting them grow new babies and then cutting those off and letting that grow new babies and letting that top root, this is how you truly multiply your garden from a few succulents to hundreds in less than a few months. So I mean, in a year, you know, if this took me 2 months to kind of do, in a year you can have a lot of succulents. Succulents are very slow growers, but I find that if you give them proper water and light and soil, they do really well. So I wanted to show you all of my results today. And I also wanted to show you how I'm going to be kind of cutting them, kind of the things that I'm going to be looking for when taking the propagation cuttings, size-wise and structure-wise, that sort of stuff. One thing I am going to be using to root these cuttings is pumice. I will include a link down below to the general pumice products, and honestly I have never had better results than when I use pumice. It is completely unnecessary. You can use moss, you can use succulent soil. I wouldn't recommend potting soil because it does hold on to water pretty heavily and it doesn't dry out very quickly. And so I would use either pumice or succulent soil or a mix of both. If you can get your hands on pumice though, I would highly recommend it because it's great to kind of be able to watch your roots grow, because you can kind of pick up the pumice and see your roots from there, which I will include a video too of showing you all of the roots down below. So then the other thing that I'm going to be using is some tweezers. I like to have really fine point tweezers. I find that it helps me kind of manipulate the leaf sometimes, or if I find a mealybug, I can pick it off real quick. And then I use sewing scissors, and these are just tiny little thread cutting sewing scissors. I find that these work really well for small succulent plants. So let me zoom you guys in so you can look at all of these cute little babes. Okay, so first off, before I started harvesting, I wanted to show you this haworthia. So this haworthia has the windowsill leaves. You can see that it's just a mess of babies in here. There are so many rosettes, and I'm going to be thinning this out today and kind of showing you that technique. But I wanted to show you this pot. So this is a propagation from this plant here. I took one of these rosettes and I planted it up, but I wanted you to see how many babies of its own it has. And this was probably propagated a year ago, but it has formed roots in this new pot and it's made all of these little babies. And it's kind of difficult to see, but there are new shoots down in here, down over here, almost pretty much anywhere where you can see soil, this little succulent has made new babies. What I'm going to be looking for is a few different things. So right here, you can see that there is a rosette. What we're looking for is something that looks like this. So you want to find the center, and you want to find kind of where the leaves to the center end. So we have this one here, and then I believe if we rotate this way, there's another one here. There's one in right there. There are truly a lot of centers. So what I'm going to be kind of looking for though are ones that I can cut out easily that will make more room for the ones that don't have a true developed center yet. You can also see there's a nice little baby right here. And haworthias are very forgiving, I find, so you can kind of just rip them off. I'm going to be taking off quite a few different cuttings just because I want to propagate this one quite a bit. And I have a lot of babies to do so. So this one's kind of deformed, but this is one set. And if you can get roots with it on haworthias, that's even better. So I'm going to sneak my sewing scissors right underneath of it and cut. And I should be given a nice chunk. So I was able to make an incision there. It looks like I have one little root, which is good. It actually looks like I was able to get a few little babies with it. So you can see here's a few little babies, and then we have our main rosette. You can see that that made quite a big opening, and you can kind of see all of the little centers for a lot of the other little babies. And I'll take this other large one right here. So we're going to turn this. And then you can kind of see a root system with it. And we're going to try to cut to get that whole piece. Perfect. And then we got some roots, and we got another little baby in the process. So it looks a little bit bare now, but this is after harvesting all of those little babies from it. And all of these spots should now fill back in with new growth. These Lolas, I do want to take apart. We have this one right here, and then you can see that there's a smaller one down in here. So preferably I'd like to take this one, since this one's already kind of set up more in a structured manner, but we're gonna have to kind of look at this first. I'm going to take off this leaf because I know that that's going to be kind of in my way. And then the other one I want to take off is right here. That one's also kind of in the way a little bit. And then you can just leaf propagate those. And then we're going to try to kind of come in on this direction and take a cutting. So you can see here, that's the bare spot where it is now, where that baby was, and now this one will have kind of room to kind of take over that and get a little bit bigger. And then this is the propagation from that, and I'm going to be, it's a little bit deformed, but I'm going to be placing it in the soil with, or the pumice with this on the bottom, kind of where I cut it, and just letting it reroot. Things I wanted to show you is that this succulent, the cutting was taken right there. You can still kind of see the knob, and then these two shoots grew out from it. I'm not going to be harvesting this one because I like how it looks, but you could easily just come and take cuttings right here and right here on both of these shoots and then reroot them. I have two Lolas, and then this is one of the lipstick echeverias. And one thing I wanted to show you on this Lola is that there are babies forming. It looks like there's two in here, but this one is kind of small, and I'm not going to be harvesting it. You can kind of see that it's about the same size as my nail. This to me is a little bit too small. Now this one, you can kind of just see one leaf that was left on the stem. I'm going to leave this one be because there's only one growing from it, and so I'm just going to let it kind of take over this root system and grow off of this. There's no real need that I need to take this as a cutting. So same thing with this. This is a random echeveria, but these two are kind of small, but you can see that there's two little heads on there, but they're not really interfering with each other yet. So once they get to the point where they're kind of squished up against one another, then I might take one off at least to give the other one some room to grow and get the other one to grow new roots. But for right now, these ones are kind of still a little bit small, and I'd rather just leave them on the plant than take them off a little bit too early. The larger you can get them, the more successful they're going to be once you take them as a cutting. Then I wanted to show you this. This is a aloe, or a gaster aloe, potentially. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I took the center cutting off of this one here, and it might be a little bit difficult for you guys to see, but there are tons of little babies all along in the nooks and crevices of everything. There's some over on this side too, all of those little babies. I'm not going to be harvesting these because there's still quite a bit of room. Also, the ones that are kind of in here are still a little bit small, and so I'm going to be leaving these ones for a little bit longer until I want to propagate this plant more. Then this is a Lola I wanted to show you. This is one that we took the head off of. So we have a baby right there, and we have a baby right there. These two are probably doing okay, and I'm going to be leaving these. These have massive growth on them, which is awesome, but I'm probably going to be leaving them on just because it looks like they're not really interfering with the other's growth, and we'll just kind of let them be because it does kind of look interesting and neat. So I think that's kind of what I had that I really wanted to propagate. We got quite a few little babies. Here's my little tray of them. All of this row is the haworthias, and then we got a few Lolas, and I'm really excited for all of the other babies that I showed you, for them to kind of get big enough so that I can propagate those as well. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Go ahead and click the like button if you thought it was helpful or interesting. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss any updates for these or any other succulents in our garden. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.